All right, what is up, music producers and sound designers? Welcome back to the stream. Today we're going to be looking at designing a sound in Ableton, which is going to be an ambient sound. So, we're going to be using Reaktor and Ableton during this session. So tonight we're going to be doing something really cool, and we're going to be showing you how to build this generative ambient loop inside of Reaktor as a plugin, and then we're going to export it to Ableton. So this kind of patch will play itself, and it'll have some evolving textures in it as well. So no loops, hopefully, no repeating patterns, and we're just going to use pure modular to create this. If you're into ambient or experimental or cinematic sound design, then this is the place for you. And let's dive right into it. So I'm going to open up a version of Reaktor. I already had a session here, just open. So I'm going to open up another version of Reaktor, and I'm going to go to the build section. Once I go to the build section, I'm going to edit. So we can see where we have a blank page right here. I'm actually going to go back, and I'm going to open it in a different way, so we can more visualize how this is being built. I'm going to do it as a patch, so I can color code things and go a little slower. So let's see. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to open up. We're going to grab an oscillator. So we're going to build the core patch. And the core patch requires us to bring in an oscillator. So we have our core things that we need here. I'm going to be bringing in a oscillator. Then going to bring in a filter. Might use this panel this time. Just make it a little bit bigger, just so it's easier to visualize. And then I'm going to bring in a note in. So I'm going to need a note in as well. Let me just check the panel. So we have one right here. We should have one included. Yeah, we do have one included, so I didn't need to actually add one. So I got my oscillator, my note in. Going to connect the pitch to the note in. Let's color these red so it's easy to know pitch colors. So I'm going to color, yeah, that's my note in. Then I'm going to connect that to a filter. So I'm going to grab a filter. Going to bring that in line here. Let's do the filter. And then we're going to go out to levels, left and right. And finally out. Going to control my level, my volume here. And that's our basic signal flow. That's the basic flow of our sound. And from there, I'm going to make some modifications to this. I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to add in an LFO. So it's going to look like that. And we're going to connect that LFO to our mod. So I'm going to create a color for this wire just to show modulation, and we'll call that one. Let's make that yellow for I'm thinking let's see, let's do maybe purple for modulation. And then so we have two modulation sources. I've connected to one of them, and when I turn my oscillator on, I turn the LFO on, and depth, we should get some modulation. Oh, so not make it too buzzy. So that's the first part of it. And now I'm going to add in the generative part. So let's bring in an 8-step sequencer. So I want to go switch down to the bottom area where I can see everything clearly. And I'm going to connect these cables. So I'm going to make these a different color again so that we know we're dealing with different signals. So I'll make the gate orange, and I'll make the reset yellow. So, well, actually, let's make those both orange. And then pitch, we know that we want pitch to be red. So I'm going to reconnect our pitch and recolor it to red. So, modulation is purple, pitch is red, and anything else is orange. So it gives us a visual representation of how we're patching together our signal path. I did say pitch was going to be red, or signal flow. I'm going to keep it like that. So we're going to go into the pitch source, which is here. And that looks good to me. I'm going to turn on my clock. So there we have it. We have something that's generating a signal and giving us a sequenced process. So I'm going to finish up adding in some effects, and that should be a good fit. I'm going to add in that reverb. Okay, so let's add a little more modulation. No, I don't like that, so. Okay. So now we can record this in as a little loop right here. We can take off the looper function and we can record something in. Let's go to insert an audio track. And from the audio track, I will record in. Oh, so we want to record this to this track. Let's go again. Okay, I think that's enough. So I'm going to turn that off. And we've got a loop. Let's take off the fades. And line it up all the way to the end of the segment, end of the. Okay, we'll check our key.